Everyone, now today we are going to be looking at mixed operations with fractions and decimals. So here's the first one, 2/5 times 0.8. Now there are two different ways that we can do this. One, we can turn the fraction into a decimal and multiply two decimals together, or we can turn the decimal into a fraction and multiply two fractions together. This really depends on what you prefer to do. So let's do it first by turning this fraction into a decimal. So here, 2/5. I have to turn this into a decimal. There's two ways I can do it. One is I can multiply 5 times 2 to give me 10. And then I'd have to multiply 2 times 2, which would give me 4. And I would say, 2/5 is 4/10. And 4/10, remember, when we have to convert a fraction into a decimal, like 4 out of 10 would be 0.4. So I have 0.4 times 0.8. And I go, looks more like an add-in sign, sorry. So, what is 4 times 8? It is 32. How many numbers after the decimal point? 2 numbers after the decimal point. So, my final answer would be 0.32. Now, that's the first way. There's another way. Here again, we had 2/5. Let's say I want to turn 2/5 into a decimal. How do I do it? I divide. 2 divided by 5. Does 5 go into 2? No. Add a 0, it goes 4 times. So I end up with 0.4 times 0.8. And then we multiply. What do we get? 4 times 8 gives me 32. 2 numbers after the decimal point. What do we get? 0.32. So here we have two different ways to turn this fraction into a decimal. Okay? Now, what's the other way we can do it? I can turn this decimal into a fraction. Here, what is it out of? It is 0.8. 0.8. So that's 8 out of 10. So that's how I convert it. It's that simple. Then, before we multiply, we simplify. 8 and 5? No. 2 and 10? Yeah, I can divide it by 2. Alright, what's 1 times 8? 8. What's 5 times 5? 25. So I end up with 8/25. If I wanted to turn it into a decimal, let's try. 8. Does 25 go into 8? No. Does 25 go into 80? Yes, it does. It goes 3 times, which gives me 75, which gives me a remainder of 5. Does 25 go into 5? No. Look at that, 0.32. So, just to remind you, with mixed operations, what do? Either turn the fraction into a decimal and multiply or divide decimals like normal, or turn the decimal into a fraction and multiply or divide two fractions like normal. Alright, see you later.